Good evening, everyone. I am Sneha Chorge, working as the regional head for Acme Consulting. Now, in my over 6 years of working with Acme, one thing which I have learned that implementation of an operating system or a quality system in a hospital is always much easier in the earlier stages, that is pre-commissioning of the hospital stage or construction stage, as we also call it. That is because post-commissioning implementation becomes more difficult. It is more time-consuming because the hospital already has their own systems in place. So, changing them, obviously, we are met with a little bit of resistance at least. So, ideal time frame to implement or create these operating systems would be 3 to 4 months before you inaugurate the hospital. So even if my title suggests getting ready for running the hospital post commissioning, I'm going to talk only about activities that need to be done pre commissioning. That is before you open the doors of your hospital for patients. Because post commissioning, a hospital's priority has to be patient care and running the hospital smoothly. So if the following activities that I'm going to talk about are taken care of, a hospital doesn't have to struggle with implementing the operating systems post commissioning. This is the ideal definition of a commissioning of a hospital. A quality focused process for enhancing the delivery of a project. The process focuses upon verifying and documenting that all of the commission systems and assemblies are planned, designed, installed, tested, operated, and maintained to meet the owner's project requirements. There are a lot of things which a hospital needs to take care of before they start the hospital, inaugurate or open their doors to the patients. The a few important ones which we would be discussing would be first is applying for the statutory clearances. That would include, we've already actually discussed that in Mr. Ramakrishnan's presentation also, the mandatory statutory licenses like your fire NOCs, your biomedical waste licenses, your pollution control board licenses, your occupancy certificates, etc. Because these need to be applied minimum 4 to 5 months before you start. Also for diagnostic equipments like your CT, MRI, X-ray, mammography, based on meeting the structural requirements, you need to apply to you need to get the AERB licenses. So all of these licenses are also required for complying to NABH as well. So having these in place would also prevent a lot of headache for the hospital post commissioning, because you need these available even for applying to these accreditation bodies. Now, one of the most important activity which a hospital has to undertake before starting the hospital is to have a good standard operating system in place. These would include your SOPs, your standard operating procedures for good practices for clinical care, your infection control, your equipment, facility management. That also equipment planning we've already learned from Mr. Suresh's presentation. Now, the most relevant question here would be, why do we need all these SOPs in place even before the hospital is open? Or who has the time to do it when we are actually busy with the hospital structure and the licensing part? Just imagine if there are no systems in place, different stakeholders, different recruits joining the hospital would bring their own SOPs from their previous experiences from their past hospitals, creating discord and chaos among themselves. So if your forms, formats, or registers, department operating manuals, they are already in place, that are used. New recruits can start implementing those from day one itself. So even if the standard guidelines which need to be followed for your OTs, your CSS, other critical areas, it becomes easier to be followed at this stage only. You have to obviously ensure that all these are of course NABH compliant too, as you wouldn't want to make the changes again and again, especially the structure, obviously, because that becomes then a costly deal for you. You can also take the help of your NABH advisor at this stage, who can provide you the templates for all the aforementioned documentation. Or you can take their help in creating fresh set of documents for which are relevant for only your hospital. You can review them, finalize them, and keep them ready in print before you start. So basically, you are aligning your hospital as per the NABH requirements from the inception itself, and your quality processes and practices are firmly rooted. So these operation systems will be used by you for more than 25 years. So you have to ensure that you take out quality time to prepare those. Obviously changes can be made in those from time to time as and when technology advances and when your scope increases. But all these activities have to start minimum 3 months, 3 to 4 months before the commissioning of the hospital. Another important one would be planning the staffing or human resources for your hospital. This also again has to be considered pre-commissioning itself. Now you need to prepare a rollout plan based on the hospital's objectives and goals, because you need to forecast your year-wise, your staffing requirements. You can obviously refer to your NABH, your ICM guidelines for doing those, or designing an organogram. You can prepare the organogram, which helps you create hierarchy in the organization and helps you define your roles, your objectives, responsibilities, and gives your business a clear structure. It also improves collaboration and communication across teams. Having all the pre-made operating manuals also saves you a lot of time training your new staff. Your developed system will also not collapse if any one of the employee leaves, because the new trainee or the new joinee who is joining immediately will automatically be inducted into the system with minimal training required, because he already has all those manuals in place. He just has to go through it and train himself, and with minimal time required that way. So you will have your your HODs, your staff, they will also have their predefined roles and responsibilities defined. So your recruitment process also becomes easy. So you will not recruit anyone who is not relevant to your system, because your organogram doesn't define them. So your training programs also becomes easy because you have your training manuals in place. So it saves a lot of time also for the hospital to focus on their main core competence, that is this patient care that ways. This is a ideal nurse to patient ratio according to NABH recommendations. For doctors and RMOs also, you can check with NABH or IPHS guidelines. Now, if you know these, the nurse patient ratio well in advance, before you start recruiting itself, you can forecast and budget your human resource well in advance. You will not recruit people whom are not suitable, or who are not qualified to be in your organization or as per experience that way. So this becomes a very useful tool in that case. So final one would be the decision whether to keep all the services in-house or outsource a few of those to competent third parties. In today's time, where there is a growing demand for high quality but low cost healthcare, outsourcing is a great option which healthcare organizations can look at seriously to provide a service more productively at a lower cost. Outsourcing services peripheral to the organization's primary operations may also enable healthcare administrators and staff to concentrate more efficiently on the organization's core activity, that is patient care. Many hospitals today, in fact, target the non-patient care services like your billing, your IT, insurance, claims processing, recruitments, training for outsourcing. Also, your radio imaging, your lab services can be outsourced efficiently. So hospital doesn't have to invest on those expensive equipment and technology itself. Naturally, it also improves your quality level of direct patient care services, thus directly boosting your patient satisfaction. So concentrate more on your core activity. So all of these mentioned activities, if done prior to the hospital commissioning itself, we can ensure a smooth flow of activities at the ground level with a deeply rooted, quality-based operating system in place. Thus, post that your hospital is commissioned, you are ready to focus on taking care of your patients, which you are good at. That is. So, thank you so much.